What's up, everybody? It's Blake and Levi. We are the Turn 2 commentators, giving you weekly recaps, podcasts of NASCAR. This past weekend, we were at Michigan. Pretty solid race. Levi, what's been going on? What'd you think? How's life?
Life is cozy as always. No complaints. Sunny and rainy. It's always a good day when you wake up. The race is really good for me.
Yeah.
Really good. The truck race, depending on what you like, it was a good race.
I think the truck race, I think that was the best truck race of the year.
No, not for me.
I just liked it. It just, I don't know. It felt
Well, it's
felt
been a long
old
time
school.
since it's been there, though.
Yeah, that is true.
How did you like the ARCA race there?
Be honest, I didn't really catch most of it.
Well,
I know Corey Heim was in it, but he didn't win.
Oh, by the way, real quick, this is the intro. The highlight of the race was that whoever was in that car went a lap down after 6 laps. He was 27 seconds off the lead after 2 laps.
Yeah,
what would you do if you was in that car?
Just get me
What's
out.
the payout? Was the payout breaking even for the work you did over the weekend?
No, it was not. No.
Right now, you could have put Skylar in that car.
Yeah, she probably would have done better.
Yeah. But the weekend recap, to me, it was like almost a filler weekend for this next race, NASCAR going international. But
was it though? Because I feel like that was what I feel like a filler weekend is like.
By what I mean by filler weekend is it's back to back. It's back to back weeks that Amazon has had the race, and the telecast, the race itself, the coverage, the expertise, just everything surrounding the whole entire thing.
Yeah,
is to me is a precursor for this coming weekend. You know why? Because me and you both articulated that how we don't really like Fox. Think how Fox would do if they were doing the Mexico race. Now imagine how Amazon would do if they were doing the Mexico race. If we think it's good at Michigan, they're going international. You know how many words, terminology that Dale Jr. and Steve Letarte are going to use?
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing because now you get to see NASCAR on a bigger stage. And some of the people that were going to be at the Mexico race, like they were, I guess, our generation, were young. They weren't really paying attention to the telecast. Now they're going to see NASCAR for the first time. They don't think, oh, they're serious.
I will give it to Prime. And, I know me and you kind of were somewhat watching the race together Sunday, but it's kept me involved, not involved, but intrigued into the race. Unlike Fox.
Have you taken a mid-race nap the last 2 weeks?
No, I have not. Fox, it just seems like they just dole out and they get boring. Clint Boyer's boring. Mike Joy says some corny old man joke, and it makes me tired. But the Prime coverage, it's like they just keep you. They show everything. They show the action. It's just good.
When you're watching Fox, they're all good people in their own right. However you view them, they're all good. But at the same time, let's say they keep the coverage on. Let's say Blake Hester's leading out front, and I'm in second. Oh, at the last 15 laps, he's increased his lead by 9 seconds over second place, and they just keep it on the car. Like Richard Petty said, the racing is in the back now, and you see all the filler convo like randomly after 7 laps club board. Like I saw a hot dog walk down the street, like it's some random thing. With Steve Letarte and Dale Jr., it's constant information. And then on top of that, pit road. You can speak to the pit road, which you've been saying over text messages.
Oh my God! Like when they get pit road, it's incredible. I love when they do green flag pit stops. They show everybody pitting, man.
You can see who is a bad person on a pit crew. Like, you need to get that tire changed and change him.
Yes, they show the whole thing. It's great. I don't understand all the negativity surrounding it. It's mostly the boomers, the old people. Probably can't figure out how to do it.
And those are the
Is what it
households
is.
who mostly
Whatever.
have Amazon Prime.
Yes, that's the same old argument we keep going with every weekend. All these little what's a good boomer name?
Ernest.
Ernest or Jeff.
Don't use that one. Don't use that one.
Oh God. Sorry. I
know that's a
forgot that's
common
your dad.
name.
That's your dad's name. All right.
I was gonna put
Or okay, here Bob. There you go, Bob.
I was gonna say Robert.
Bob and Peggy. You know, Peggy probably
Isn't that Jared's
spends.
mom?
Oh gosh, Jared's mom, Patty.
Her name is Peggy.
Yeah, it's Peggy, I think.
I'm gonna go Claire.
Okay, Claire probably spends
Claire
$50 a day on Amazon.
First of all, do they not know if you have Amazon Prime to order your stuff, you have Amazon Video?
Somebody needs to put I guess they need to learn with pictures, but just put a step-by-step picture thing.
I would love. Do they even know how to get to Amazon? Like, if they click on it?
Probably not.
How long would it take you right now if you went on your phone and order boiled peanuts? I'm using it because you like them. And click payment. How long would it take you if you started right now?
10 seconds.
Because look, they'll get mad. Whoa, I gotta add my card to this?
That's not. It is crazy how you can literally, if you're thinking of something, go to Amazon. Most likely is going to have it, and you can buy that within 30 seconds.
I can buy a gaming PC right now off Amazon. Would I trust that setup? I don't know. But
you can buy some crazy stuff on Amazon. Dude, you can buy a whole pool on Amazon and be here in 2 days.
You can buy a penis costume for
yes,
Halloween.
You can buy that. You can't buy that. Anyways, but the coverage...
Hell, you can probably buy tickets on eBay. You can buy anything on these sites.
Yeah. I would like
to see... But the coverage, yes, it's really good. She's been really good. Like, the coverage, like, versus... Well, not that. We all know that. But versus a fan favorite of mine.
No, she
the
is
mom
good.
of sport, Jamie Little. Nothing wrong with Jamie Little, but this one, she hits every segment. And
you know where she came from, right? She used to do post-race Sirius XM, so she knows NASCAR.
That's right. And when you hear her, regardless of woman or man, it's like you have confidence as a listener that whomever is talking on Amazon knows what they're talking about. Then when they go to the pit road, they're ready. And it sounds like this crazy chaos going in the background.
Taking a shot at somebody. She would call a better truck race.
But for me, it's like, yes, that's true. That's true. It's almost like with your job, you can call a certain person, get the job done quick. But crazy Tony down there, he may be crazy, but he don't get the job done, and it's like quirky. It's like a novelty of the sport.
Yeah,
but
I get it.
I would trust her to call a cup race versus Jamie Little.
And I hope the plan for NASCAR, maybe not the whole season, but at least half the season for Prime, I would love for them to have the first half of the season. But I would like, or just give them the whole thing. Screw it, give them the whole thing, because I want to see them call the Daytona 500 and then call the championship race. I want to see that post-race coverage of the championship race. They're going to be there for hours. See, this is where it starts getting weird, because I know Prime's only got, 2 races left? Then it goes to TNT for the...
I thought they had 6 races.
I think they have Mexico and then Pocono, and that's it. Or it might be 6. I don't know. But I thought it was
doesn't it go to TNT after that?
Yeah, I thought TNT was getting the in-season tournament, and that's only 2 more races. And I think they only get the in-season tournament, and then I think it's NBC the rest of the season.
What do I always compare NASCAR to? Just like how they do the sport.
F1.
So for me, the F1 cover. I don't care what racetrack you're talking about. It can be Monaco. The coverage and who's talking always keep me involved. You've seen the races. It can be a common thing you see every day in traffic. And then it makes it seem like someone just like did DRS past 1,500 cars.
Yeah.
That's what the Amazon Prime coverage is like. They can turn a boring moment into a nice moment. Imagine if Fox, Kevin Harvick, your guy, the old man jokes, I always get him confused with Chris Myers and Clint Boyer. Imagine if they called the Monaco race. How would that go?
I wouldn't like that.
See, put a bad race with quote unquote bad coverage and commercials. Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna ask you this: the last two races, what's been better, the racing or the coverage? Which one is carrying who?
I think the racing was. I think it was kind of equal this past weekend because the racing was good.
Would you take that racing the rest of the year? That's whatever racing you feel you saw the last 2 weeks, the rest of the year and bad coverage, or would you take this coverage and bad racing the rest of the year?
Because I know, because they're going to get Pocono, and that's probably going to be a boring race. So
man, they'll test you out.
Yeah, it's going to test me because Pocono's that race I really don't keep up with because it's just.
You know what's going to keep you up with it? When you hear Dale Jr. screeching his voice because he's tired after talking for like 6 hours straight. You know, Dale Jr., when he talks about NASCAR, he talks like he's being held hostage and he's been out of breath for 6 days. But my favorite part of coverage, the last part about favorite part of coverage is after the race. They're staying in their fire suits for God knows how long. And then beer. What is the main thing you always complained about with Fox? It's like, you got to tell your wife, like, you get 5 seconds of whoever. And then I said,
that's
the Simpsons.
Yeah, I was going to say it's the Simpsons or professional bowling on FS1.
They're showing you, they're going over with Denny Hamlin what he did.
Yeah, they're literally looking at a TV like, oh, what'd you do right here?
Only thing I want to see, we could see the Mexico post-race fight for the win with the two first and second, but then they both had to come on and talk about it. That's what
I would like to see. I know they do the winner and maybe sometimes another guy, but I'd like to see them do a couple more guys that come up there and talk. Like,
imagine if the winner. Give me 2 guys real quick before we move on real quick. There's 2 random drivers that can compete for the win.
For Mexico?
Yeah, besides SVG. Yeah, you can throw him out there if you want.
We'll just go Allmendinger and SVG.
SVG moves purposely worse than what Chastain did Allmendinger out the way to secure the win because he wants to try to get in the playoff. SVG is up on the desk talking. Allmendinger's at his car, and they did a side interview. I was watching what he said about that. Don't worry, I got something for our next race. I want to see that. I want to see the raw emotion. Don't hide it. What have you been saying? NASCAR's missing emotion. But that's all I got with it.
Okay. Well, that's kind of a little Michigan recap. Let's hit up these standings real quick. You want to do regular season or playoff?
Right now we can go regular season because I got something I want to say. Okay. You've been part of this group who's been clamoring. William Byron's leading, by the way, who's been clamoring, man, look, the regular season, man. Whoever wins the regular championship, man, that should be the favorite, blah, blah, blah. Tell me
I've never said
the regular season. You big up the regular season champion, depending on what the driver is. But I'm going to ask you this. When's the last time you can remember the person that won a regular season title? Maybe Kyle Larson a gazillion years ago, because Kyle Larson's like Joe Burrow to me. Living off that 1 year in dirt races. When's the last time you seen the regular season champion win a championship?
Probably since Kyle Larson.
How often does that happen?
Doesn't really
happen. What happened with Martin Truex? That I was in his car in the playoffs.
That's a big collapse that year. But so William Byron is leading the points. He's 41 points ahead of Kyle Larson. Then you got Denny, Christopher Bell, Chase Elliott to round out the top 5, Tyler Reddick,
That's
Ryan
a quiet
Blaney.
5 for Chase Elliott.
Dude, I don't understand it. We'll get into that, but I don't understand how. No, I don't. I get that, but I don't understand how he's. Him. I don't understand how he's 5th in points.
When's the last time he wrecked?
You know, it's funny you say that. I don't think he's wrecked at all this year, and he's finished. This is one of those LeBron stats, but every race this year he's finished in the top 20.
You know what it is? He gets points in stages. I feel like,
but then they just fall off.
12th, 13th, 12th and 13th. But yeah, go ahead. You left off at Tyler Reddick at 6.
Tyler Reddick 6, Ryan Blaney 7, Ross Chastain 8, Joey Logano 9th, Bubba Wallace in the 10. Bubba Wallace is top 10 in points.
You talk to the people,
and people
this
say
is not because he won or 2 good races. The baby, and look at his last 5 races, and he's still in the top 10 in points.
Mm-hmm. He's ahead of Chase Briscoe, who some say that he was going to. Chris Buescher in 12th, Alex Bowman 13, Ryan Preece 14, 15 Kyle Busch, 16 Austin Cindric. So I'm just going to stop at 16. So that's the regular season. Now, if we go by playoffs, which, what number race was that? We had
13, 14,
15.
15, yeah.
So we're 9 races to go until the playoffs. So
how many points does the regular season champion get?
I have to look it up. I can't remember.
I don't think it's 25, is it?
Yeah, I can't remember.
It's
I have to look it up.
Yeah, go ahead. Kyle Larson, you said.
So Kyle Larson's leading the playoff standings. And then Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell. Yeah, by 5 points. Christopher Bell is behind Denny by 2. William Byron's behind Christopher Bell by 4. Ryan Blaney's 5th. Joey Logano 6th. Austin Cindric 7th. 8, Josh Berry. 9, Ross Chastain. And then to start the bottom half, Chase Elliott, Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, Chase Briscoe, Chris Buescher, Alex Bowman, and then Ryan Preece rounds out your 16. And on the bubble, we'll give you a little bubble standing real quick. Kyle Busch is actually, he's technically tied with Ryan Preece, but Ryan Preece has a tiebreaker. And then Carson Hocevar and AJ Allmendinger are 18 points out. And then Ricky Stenhouse in 20th is only 20 points out.
Honestly, he should be higher if it wasn't for that race.
Agreed.
Ricky Stenhouse has been running the poor man's version of Chase Elliott this year. No wrecking, just you don't even hear about him in the coverage. Oh, man, he finished 11th.
Yeah. And what's crazy, and some people are talking about it, but Chris Buescher and Ryan Preece potentially make playoffs.
Well, that leads me into this. Who's been at this current point, it doesn't mean that they're the best driver on the planet. Who's been your driver of the year, Cup Series only, and who's been your comeback driver of the year? To this
driver of the year.
If you had to give out a driver MVP and a comeback player of the year.
MVP right now, I think he's having a Aaron Rodgers-esque type season. I'm going to go Denny Hamlin. Somehow he's just... Yeah, but I think he gets overlooked a little bit by Denny Hamlin.
You know how in college football you have, and funny I bring it up, they have like purple, platinum, and silver for attributes. William Byron has that. Whenever I don't care what track it is, when he's coming off of turn 4, he gets a slingshot to like a second lead on whatever track it is. And we've seen it in person. But yeah, Denny Hamlin, I mean, you would think as long as he's been racing, there would be like a fall off or something. But he looks like he's still in his prime.
Oh, and also, which I saw today, but he has already come out and said that if she has not had this baby by Thursday, he's not going to Mexico.
Yeah, if it was like Arizona, he would go because
it'd be Ryan Truex. It'd be Ryan Truex filling in.
He would get a shot. I low-key want that to happen. I want him to be with his wife because Ryan Truex, that can be the shot he need. Just the one shot he need.
And I know we always talk about the random comments from these people. Somebody said, so he's going to lose all his playoffs points and not get a waiver, right? And then Jeff Gluck commented, no, the new waiver rule states that a birth is a medical excuse to get a waiver, so he's going to get the waiver. That's just not right.
I'm gonna ask that, Gerard. Would you go race or would you go with your wife?
Oh, yeah.
First of all, they had to watch out how they answer because they want to see the comment. What would Skylar, your wife, say if you said, at this time in the season, I'm going to the race, and you're gonna skip the birth for your second child?
Oh, she's not. She's gonna give me that look. That
only way she'll let you go is if you come back with the trophy. So you went down there just to get second.
So my what if, big what if this was going into championship weekend and he was in the final four?
What would you do the final race, and you heard it's going to be a C-section? I don't know if you can like know that early, but if it's C-section, would you go up there or would you go to the race? It's a championship race. You're the final four. What would you do personally? Yeah, what would you do?
Sorry, I'm going for the championship.
Your first child. It's your first child.
Yeah. That's side note. That's just why you need to plan your bedroom adventures accordingly.
What percentage of the people on the planet you think planned that accordingly? How many people you think are walking Earth that were at mistakes? Or
I bet, well, besides Denny, but I bet you a lot of people in sporting industries probably planned that.
Look at WNBA players or female athletes. They had to plan that accordingly. You can't just be, yeah, I'm pregnant. I know we got a championship game coming up.
Because I swear it seems like every offseason and all the guys lining up at Daytona, it seems like they all like popped out like 2 or 3 kids each in the offseason. It's like, where all these kids come from?
That's your time. They try to plan it right.
You got any? Well, I know this will probably go into. Is Mexico a race for someone to sneak their way into the playoffs with a win? Like,
I don't even look like
dang, he won. Like a big surprise win. Because I really don't think a SVG or Allmendinger is a big surprise win because it's a road course.
I just thought a name. I mean, I'm choosing. If a Hocevar wins, I think that's a big surprise. No one is expecting that. Because you don't look at him as a road course guy. I don't care. Like, I'm not talking about the hype, but the like.
It's gonna be curious to see. Wins. That would be crazy if he did. But I'm curious to see who Inspire has the speed this weekend. Is Michael McDowell going to show his road course tenacity and be up there?
When's the last time you seen Michael McDowell had a bad road course race or no speed?
Yeah, I mean, he's good.
He's like a super David Ruderman.
Yeah, that'd be that would be a Michael McDowell winning. That'd be kind of crazy.
Or also, you look at the race because I know me, you, and I remember the Mexico race before. I know it was a long time ago,
Yeah.
but I know you want Kyle Busch to win because you know
Would that be an
him and
upset
Denny
win?
Hamlin. No, because he's won it before.
Yeah.
If he wins, like Kyle Busch, this is your second time winning here. I know. I mean, no, who else? Well, it was in the Xfinity Series when he won. Did he win a cup? He won a cup too.
You know,
I know Denny Hamlin
no,
won
they've
it
never
the
been there.
last race.
Cup's never been there. I'm gonna look up.
I thought. Oh no, did Denny Hamlin win it 1 year? Then Kyle Busch won it 1 year in the Xfinity Series.
I think that's how it was. I'm gonna look up that year because I wanna
I know
look up
2008 was the last year.
He won at Mexico, and I want to see the lineup for this field. Okay, it was 2008. All right, let's see. Yeah, it was 2008 when he won. All right, here we go. 43 drivers attempted to qualify. 5 did not make it. I'm just going to read this field. this Kyle Busch was in the number 20 for
yeah.
Kyle Busch was in the number 20. Second was Marcus Ambrose. Third, Scott Pruitt.
Okay.
Fourth, Carl Edwards.
Okay.
Fifth, Patrick. I'm gonna butcher this name. Patrick Carpentier.
Carpentier.
It looks like Carpenter. Sixth, Clint Boyer.
That's random.
Scott Wimmer finished 7th. Brad Keselowski.
That's who was in the 22 Caterpillar car before we started. That's who was in the car. Scott Wimmer.
Oh, yes. Number who finished in 8th was Brad Keselowski in the 88 for junior. Number who finished in 9th was Mike Bliss. Wow. And then 10th, Steve Wallace.
I thought he was going to be great.
He had the potential.
Who's better, Steve Wallace or Jeb Burton? Potential-wise.
Jeb Burton. I'm going to give you the rest of these names, see if I notice. Dang, look at these names, man. David Ruderman, Mike Wallace, Sam Hornish Jr.
Yeah,
Adrian Fernandez. Max Pappas was in this race. Brad Coleman, Jason Keller, Ruben Prado, Kenny Wallace, Rafael Martinez, Jason Leffler, David Reagan, Landon Castle,
Landon Castle
Kevin Page.
I thought you were about to say Kevin Nash.
The only other one, Ron Hornaday Jr. was in it. Boris Said was in it.
So
they had everyone
a big you name basically know how to ring around a road course.
The 5 drivers that did not make this race. Brett Rowe, don't know who that is. Morgan Shepherd and
wasn't
Derek
he like
Cope.
85 during that race? They both had to be a combined 318 years old. And what's funny, Derek Cope has a car in the race this weekend.
That is crazy. Yes, that's funny.
Hey,
so yeah, there's some guys.
Small break. Okay. Door.
Oh my God. This man going to the door, probably to get groceries again. Well, enjoy this commercial break while we wait. This man don't even put it on mute, and we got to hear him rumbling around, rumbling and tumbling down. Oh, nope. Went back. Ah, man. Well, while we wait, if you're still listening, leave a comment on what you thought of Michigan. What's your expectation for Mexico? We'd like to hear from some of y'all on y'all's thoughts. Maybe put some questions in there and we can react to them or whatnot. And then always, of course, like, subscribe, share this, share it to everybody. And he's back. Here we go.
Sorry, it's the milkman.
Okay.
Derek Cope is. Oh, I gotta search it up. I'm sorry. I gotta see how old this
and
man
when you
is.
do that, see how old Morgan Shepherd is. How old is he?
How old do you think Derek Cope is?
72.
66.
What?
I thought the man was in his 80s.
Dude, I don't know what the commercial was, but he always had this stupid commercial. Hi, I'm Derek Cope, and I'm a Daytona 500 winner. And I think it
You
was like
forgetting
selling
about
like
that.
Gold Bond or something, like some foot powder or something.
Morgan Shepherd. Take a guess.
77.
83.
Oh, wow.
You know what? If they both try to run a cup race out of those three, who do you think NASCAR would give it to? Morgan Shepherd, Derek Cope, or Mike Wallace? I think Mike Wallace would be last. I feel like Morgan Shepherd and Derek Cope have run races more recent than him.
Probably have.
I know more. It was. But yeah, that race. I honestly think this race is going to be really good because a lot of the drivers, it's going to be minimized sim time for the race, and we've seen the race because F1 goes there every year. The stadium section is tight. It's extremely tight, and all the fans right there.
Is
We gonna
this
see
the
people
track?
moved out the way.
Is this the track on F1? The game?
Yeah, where the pit road is right there before the start finish line.
Yeah, okay, I know. Is it the same course?
And same course. And on top of that, you know how long that front stretch is?
Yeah.
Remember Ricky Senha was saying, "Oh wow, a lot of drivers we can't even there's no elevation change for the first corner. You can't see it. So people gonna be going full throttle." Who's your first person to run off course and cause it and not see it?
Well,
You remember we saw Kurt Busch blow through what was that, Coda, when it rained and it shot through the field?
Catherine Legg.
She's been in that course before. I don't think she will.
I don't care.
No, because she's probably one of the best road course racers in the field as far as ability to race on a road course. I don't think she'll make a mistake. Who I will say would make a mistake, I hate to say it, he's a good road course guy. Brad K. I feel like his eyes are getting old. I mean, I feel like his reaction time slowing down a little bit.
Was it last year? See, like that man was in the gravel at every single road course.
I want to think about this. Whenever you see Brad K, I love him. Whenever you see him get out of the car, doesn't he look like a guy who just got off of work after working a 24-hour shift and just tired?
His hair's everywhere.
He always that, you know, that feeling he has. Like,
yeah.
Imagine and they said it's gonna be the hottest race of the year.
Wait, they said it was only gonna be like 70 degrees.
Yes, but in the car, it's gonna be the hottest race of the year. The brake, they're bringing DVC, they're bringing everything. So imagine what Brad K is gonna feel like after 10 laps.
Hopefully he doesn't have his cool suit fail.
Imagine they tell Brad we ain't gonna be able to have a cool suit in the car.
He might just go home.
I want to hear but yeah, I mean,
before we keep digging deep into Any other Michigan stuff? I mean, we did have a little bit of controversy with.
Give a shout out to the pit crews for keeping equipment inside the box by all means. Give a shout out to the pit crews for Give a shout out to the pit crews for keeping equipment in the box by all means.
Oh, yeah. No, I feel like they practice that. But what about
someone whose sole position is to get stuff?
What about Alex Bowman's wreck?
Just a wreck. To me, it was a racing thing because going those speeds in the corner, especially in the corner, you don't really have that much time to react. I mean, the impact, it kind of reminds me of the Kyle Larson, Talladega impact when Ryan Preece just hit him, and it was like it all happened within like a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
Just a regular wreck to me, and you had no time to think, really.
Yeah, no, it was a big hit.
Yeah. Now, if there was no safer barriers, then that'd be a different story.
Yeah. And then
as we're still trying to see the coverage of what happened to Elliott Sadler's engine.
We'll never see that. And then what about the late?
Real quick about Michigan. I believe they were talking about Michigan. It could be another track. Did you see when Kenny Wallace did a sit down with his brother Rusty? What he was talking about? What happened in the late 80s?
Some things with that.
When they were running unrestricted engines and he was coming around at 242, 245.
That's crazy.
I don't know. They couldn't do it today. I'm sorry. Real quick, to throw this in there. Give me a racetrack today, a big racetrack that you think you need to know how to drive to be able to race there.
Atlanta.
Who do you think would do better? Give me a driver in today's age. Get a driver that finished between 15th to 25th. Do they do better if they went back in 1975 and raced? Or does that 15th to 25th driver do better in today's car? Who does better? At Atlanta. Whatever Atlanta you want.
These guys.
So you take the driver today that would do good back in that day when they probably all raced with no power steering. Over.
Yeah, yes, we'll figure it out.
They're the same age.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to take the 1975 guy. Well, no, to me, it depends on the track. You know, I'm going to take your person for Atlanta. But if you take Talladega or Daytona, I'm going to take them. Because the cars today would be slower. Because they were running unrestricted back then. I think it depends on the track.
Yeah.
If we're talking about average driver. But to me, the other note I wanted to add about Michigan, I guess a lot of people talking about how people making bad decisions with the fuel and whatnot. To me, no, because honestly, it was strategy. Because what are you trying to do? You're trying to position yourself to be where you need to be for a track that supposedly you can't pass. But you'd rather be in the top 5 versus 17th on the last run. A lot of times, like right now, if you were William Byron and they actually look, man, we're about a half lap short, and you see Denny Hamlin coming up, what do? Do you save fuel, let him pass? Or do you chance it? If they ask you, what are you doing if you're William Byron?
Oh, we're going for that win. I don't care if I already do have a win on the season. You want the win. And just I
would have blocked him a little bit. I would have rolled him up a little bit.
And just like Hocevar's situation, I mean, they were waiting on a caution. They weren't going to make it, regardless of the flat tire or whatever. They weren't going to make it. So they were hoping they could control the race, get the caution, and then come down and beat everybody off pit road. That's what they were hoping for. It didn't work out.
Let me ask you this: if you're Hocevar and you knew that the people behind you were saving a lot of fuel, or if you're Byron and you came up on me and I was Hocevar, I was blocking the hell out of you, not hitting you, but making it where You may hit the wall. You need to slow down, and then I save fuel every time. Like you back off. How would that be viewed? I'm talking about purposely blocking. How would that be viewed? To stay in first and save fuel while they try to regain and come back after you. I know they're gonna say, well, the people gonna catch back up.
Yeah.
What happens if it's like 5 to 10 laps to go and they're trying to catch back up? Chaos is gonna happen.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
But
And then
overall, I liked it.
The other takeaway I had from that was, if I'm Ty Gibbs, I'm having a conversation with my crew chief. We're 24th and 23rd in points, and you're telling me to save, and I'm third, and I'm on the same strategy as Denny, and I saved the fuel.
There is a card. If Ty Gibbs would have had, let's say Ty Gibbs has 18 wins, a championship, he has Chase Elliott career. There is a card. Think about it. He could use, if they were to tell him that in that scenario. What card do you think that could be?
He can still use that. I would.
The way he carries himself and how he views himself in a cup series, I don't think he would do that, because he said, I haven't done nothing to use that.
Yes, but there is a breaking point for everybody, and he's had over 100 starts and hasn't got it done. I know he's thinking about it. I would be thinking about it. And you're right there. You can see it. And they tell you, nah, back off. You got to save.
But
I wouldn't throw the card out there.
I'm not even mad at the decision.
I'm not.
You know what? If I'm Ty Gibbs, I'm not even mad, because I'm thinking about where I'm at in points.
But what do you have to lose?
But to me, like, you still get points though.
Yeah, but you're still 20 plus back in points.
Yeah, but he gained 4th position. He was 28. He went to 24.
Yes, but he has to win. He's not going to point his way in. He has to win. Well,
no, but what did they always say? Sometimes you ain't got to just take what the card gives you that race. It will work out in the future.
If you would have told him, hey, you got it, he would have made the move. When Denny Hamlin and Byron were side by side, he would have passed them.
Okay,
and I'm not even a Ty Gibbs fan. I really don't like the guy.
But no, at the same time,
he had a chance to win.
I see your point, but I'm taking the points. Like the old ass, like they always say, it all 100% work, because if they're sitting on pit road a lap down fueling, it's gonna be chaos in there, and they're gonna lose more points and possibly go down to 31st in points. Going into Mexico, like, we messed up, and they're in the road course. Now we got to worry about getting the package. I'm okay with how it ended, but I agree with you. Like, you can go for the win, but because get top 5 points or you get 6 points, the momentum, because that team, in NASCAR, you need momentum.
I guess it's just me, but I'd rather run out of gas trying to go for the win than, let's just lag back. Yeah, 3rd place is great, but we could have won.
But no, it depends on where you. But
if I'm on the cut line,
it wasn't a guarantee. It's not a guarantee for him to win.
It's not, but why? What are you going to lose, man? What are you losing?
But no, for me, it's not. But no, it's not. It's still early though, because he's a good plate racer. He always finds his way up in the front. If it was me, and if I'm in Ty Gibbs' position, I don't care if I could win, but the big risk. You know what? I'm gonna inch my way, because it's possible. You can inch your way closer and closer and closer, because we act like the drivers ahead of Ty Gibbs are all going to finish perfect and no wrecks. We got road courses, so those drivers in there, 90% of those drivers don't do good at road courses, or always going to Kyle Busch right now. What are the chances if I told you he's going to have 3 DNFs the rest of it before the chase? You're going to say, well, that's a possibility. Yeah. If Ty Gibbs points it, if I'm him, I'm worried about the next position. If I'm him, build momentum, forget a win.
Yeah, but
I'm trying to get in the playoffs.
He was mad about it. He even said the same thing.
No. I agree with being mad, and I would go for win, but the worst case scenario didn't happen, so you got points. So I'm not too mad. I'm like, you know what? We're gonna get him next time, because I'm not. What's more important? Worried about I can get my first win. Forget that. I know Ty Gibbs knows that the people in front of him he's better than some of them in his mind. So if that man inches up, we're going to Daytona. Ty Gibbs is minus 8 points from the cutoff, and it's like 5 drivers within 15 points. Then you have a shot to get in. That's how I'm looking at it. Going forward, in the moment, I'll be mad like we could have went for the win, but now what's today? Tuesday. I'm like, okay, well, I gained a lot of points. People lost points. I gotta move on because you can't dwell on it. You can't go into Mexico like, why didn't we do that for Michigan? For him, we got to move on. But the last thing I want to add about Michigan, the Rockies are 12-53. It just came across my screen. Dang. 12-53. But for you, what are the chances they do a Michigan night race? How do you think that would look?
Well, the truck race looked great.
So would you like to see the Cup? I think Cup needs more night racing. That's my last thing.
I think so. I think so too. I think they need more Saturday nights. People love stuff. I mean, we talked about it before. Everything under the lights just is better.
Imagine if they had a Cup race that Saturday night at Michigan. That gives them more time to get prep and go, especially out of the country. Because where are they going now? They're going to Pocono.
First of all, and I know nobody really talked about it, but who decided to, hey, let's go to north of the United States and then go all the way to Mexico the next week? Deep Mexico. Dude, who decided that? Like, they could have been like, hey, you know what? Let's race it.
Hold on 1 second.
Oh my God. What is this man doing? Sorry, folks. Very, very unprofessional here. Oh, man.
I know who decided to go that far. The people who don't care about the drivers and the families when they're making the schedule. Because why were they going all the way to Phoenix and then coming back when they were just on the East Coast? With NASCAR, we care about the families and we care about, the fabric. That's what built the sport. Now you're going back to Homestead? When's the last time you heard NASCAR reward the truckers? Maybe I don't see it, but imagine how much sleep do you get as a NASCAR trucker?
Those are the real MVPs. They're the MVPs this week for sure. Look, they're already there. They're already there. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the picture when they took the picture of all the backup
haulers. All the haulers. Yeah, they're already there. Everything went good. Dude, they had their own private security, and I think the Mexican National Guard rolled with them through there.
Yeah. Imagine if you heard NASCAR haulers were just raw dogging it to Mexico.
No.
Because look, people,
El Chapo going to Mexico, come out of nowhere.
It's a lot of countryside, but when you go to Mexico City, one of the top 5 cities in the world, it's like 15 Atlantas as far as population.
Yeah.
And the elevation is like three Colorados. Yeah. I wish they could show the haulers pulling into Mexico City. Because the city's so big, when they were just, how when you're on a road trip and you see your destination ahead?
Yeah. All right.
If you're a hauler, would you bring your family?
No.
You wouldn't?
No.
You fly them, I'm talking about fly them down and you drive down and you meet them. Treat it like as a bootleg vacation if you're a trucker.
Well, that one lady used to watch her live streams. Wasn't her husband?
Yeah, she used to be for Denny Hamlin. Yeah, hey, Levi. She remind me 100% of your mom, just older.
All right, let's get into green flag, black flag. You ready?
Yeah, I like this first one.
Fuel strategy, green flag or black flag? Fuel strategy is now a new key to Cup wins.
No, because it's been part of NASCAR since they started NASCAR. Honestly, now, quote unquote, it's coming back.
And some people are complaining about fuel. I saw comments, another fuel strategy race. When do we ever get those?
I like this.
This isn't Daytona or Talladega. This isn't Daytona or Talladega where they're just riding around saving fuel.
what was that race like a couple of years ago at Talladega where I was asking you, like, wait a minute, they haven't pitted and it's like 6 laps to go. Then the caution came out and they all pitted.
That was a Heat 5
Imagine seeing
caution.
green flag pit stops with 2 laps to go.
That we were hoping. I remember that we were sitting there like on the edge of our seat. Oh man, we're gonna get green flag pit stops.
But you said green flag, or I'm gonna go black flag on that.
I'm gonna word this next one a little different. Briscoe's third straight pole means he should be running better.
No, because you can be a guy who has a good qualifier, but not you tend to fall back in racecraft. Some people have good one lap speed. Some of the people in the back have good one lap speed, but putting the race together,
So
you have to manage.
let me ask you this, because I know they're probably talking about it. You think they're bummed out that they qualify good and then finish 17th? I mean, they got to be disappointed a little bit.
But I mean, yeah, you are disappointed. But again, I mean, it's a long season. You are 13th in the playoff standings, and you are 11th in the regular season standings. So I would rather qualify good, because then it's like, imagine if Cody Ware and his car kept qualifying first. They would take that because, look, okay, we qualify first, we're going to fall back versus starting 36. We ain't going to pass nobody.
Yeah.
You can't be bad at both of the things. So it's almost like I find Chase Briscoe in Aspire situation.
Yeah.
You know, they don't go on stretch where they don't qualify top 5 for like 7 straight races in a row.
Yeah.
But they're gonna fall off. Like right now, if I told you Tyler Gillen's gonna start first at the road course, where will he finish in the road course? Or any track?
16th.
He'll take that.
Yeah.
He'll get some stage points to make up for it. So I mean, black flag on that.
I'm gonna skip the third one. Hocevar's runs prove Spire is playoff ready.
He reminds me of I'm gonna go black flag on that. Only from the aspect that Spire, they're not even tier 1 yet. Reminds me of an NBA team that's like young, minus this year's Thunders, like young and like, oh man, they can win. They just need one more year so they can experience it. Next year, Spire, that's where you need to look out for, because then that's when you have expectations. Because let's say he finishes, doesn't get a win, gets a bunch of top 5s and finish one spot out of the playoffs. What is his expectation next year when they're tier 1? They're like, we need to win the races.
Are they going to be tier 1 next year?
I mean, they should be, because Spire's the richest team in NASCAR if you just go off of sheer money. But I think they will be. And maybe some shake us.
I know we've talked about it before, but nobody realizes who Gamebridge is. And I don't understand why nobody talks about this. They talk about it in Indy.
Yeah.
Gamebridge is Andretti. Andretti's backing Spire.
And
just through a different organization. And yeah, and he's just doing it through a different organization. Gamebridge is Andretti. Triple OT in the trucks is more exciting than most Cup finishes.
No. Well, I'm gonna go black flag on that, because it depends on what type of racing you like. Some people like let them go race, no cautions. If they're 18 seconds between first and second, they like it. Some people like racing carnage. Now, for like the microwave community and certain races, I don't like to be under caution. Certain races, I like to be under caution, so I go black flag on that.
Speaking of the truck race, I'll give you a shout out. So if some of y'all follow us on social media, we do our little picks for the weekend. We don't do our picks for Xfinity or truck on here, but we do our picks we'll make a little social media post. I texted him and was like, who you got for the truck race? This man said Stuart Friesen. And I was like, nah. I didn't even say anything. I was just like, there's no way.
And to that, overtime. I was watching
the third overtime hits, and this man's on the front row.
when Denny Hamlin said, what did he say? They asked him. It was the thing going on. What's the most winningest car in Cup history? And it's the 11 car. And I said, the 11 car. So I said, who has the 11 best odds to win the truck race? And it was Stuart Friesen, so I chose it.
When I saw him get the lead on that last restart, I was like, there's no way this is going to happen. There's no way. Sure enough, it did.
Hey, look at Hey, the luck of the Irish Hills.
All right, next little green flag, black flag. Red flags, like when they called it for Bowman's wreck, ruin race momentum for viewers.
No, black flag. Because one, you have to make sure he was okay. And two, I mean, if it's the end of the race, the way the restarts are, you want to see them kind of bunched up together. Now,
okay.
It would have been interesting if it was because of field strategy, but I'm going to say black flag.
Last one. The in-season tournament seeding is already adding too much pressure because it seems
Green
like nobody understands the seeding.
Green flag on that because they made the seeding complicated.
Yeah.
Because if they didn't see, I have never seen any organization in the world who does seed like this. It should be where you rank. It shouldn't be off of that. I think the person that made the seeding for this is the same person who made the thing for like who gets the pole during COVID, based on your 30 lap average and
because
practice.
Just like they were talking on DBC, I thought it went off points, but that's not the case.
I want to ask the person, for the common people who watch NASCAR, why would you do it like this? What is wrong with this? Don't you want everyone to know this? You shouldn't have to send a 15-page PDF on how it works. Hell, when you go into the tournament, half the driver won't even know. Like, I don't even care. I'm just going to finish ahead of the
So if that's the case, technically, for round one, if it was the end right now, I know it's going to change. But for round one at Echo Park, it'd be Denny Hamlin versus Alex Bowman. If they were to go by the seeding.
I would honestly take Alex Bowman in that.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's an odd way. Okay.
Imagine going up against SVG at a road course and you're Brad K.
Oh, and you know what's crazy? And nobody realizes it? Back-to-back road courses, Sonoma, then Chicago.
There's a chance.
Or no, it's Chicago, then Sonoma.
Also, as a pie in the sky, there's a chance SVG can win that regular season title. There's a chance that he can do that because his.
What do you think he's going to win the next 3 road courses?
You know what I'm saying? He can, and his over racing is getting a lot better. Instead of running 30th and 32nd, he's running 14th to 20th now. That's a big jump. No one does that jump. I'll say this for any road course run because look at AJ Allmendinger. He's always up there. Apparently, he's always up there in the races.
Yeah,
over track, and then you go to the road course. That's all they need is one win. Because they're going to vote him the confidence.
All right, let's do our picks before we wrap this thing up. Michigan, you chose Brad K. I chose Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher finished second. So now it is you are 9 and I'm 6 going into Mexico. And I got first pick. I changed it up right before we got on. I don't even want to tell you who I'm going to choose. Never mind. I'm going to choose Chase Elliott.
Okay.
I need to narrow this margin.
That's who you choosing? You're confident?
Yeah.
I'm going Cody Ware.
Cody Ware.
Yep.
Why are you choosing Cody Ware? Why are you just laying up all of a sudden?
Who said I'm legging up? When's the last time? How many times has Cody Ware wreck out of a race? He may finish back there. So all I'm gonna say to you, Chase Elliott, don't wreck. Plus, we got a bunch of road courses that I follow. I know I want to choose someone, but I'm gonna save that person for another race and the other person for another race.
That was kind of my thoughts as well, but I needed a win.
Actually, no, I'm gonna go AJ Allmendinger.
Well,
I'm switching.
You can't just change it up like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch it because we didn't make it final. Because normally when we do it, you say that's your
typed
pick.
it in.
No, normally you always say that's your pick. Can't change it. AJ Allmendinger.
Wow. Okay, that's fine. Well, should be interesting. We'll see if the
real quick, who are you gonna choose for the Xfinity race?
Let me see who's in it again. I'm gonna
go for Ty Gibbs. He does good on first time road courses.
I'm gonna go Connor Zilic.
I think Ty Gibbs is gonna give him. I think Ty Gibbs is gonna beat him because Ty Gibbs has won 2 races, 2 road course races when no one else has been there, even him. So I mean, it's gonna be an interesting race. But oh, okay. Kalen Messi chose AJ Allmendinger. Okay, that's all I got.
Any final thoughts, final takeaways before we sign off?
Imagine a road course race at night. Okay, last thing, real quick, just one track. Besides, I know the track you want to go to. What track would you replace Mexico with next year? No, the Charlotte Roval. They said they go to Mexico, the Charlotte Roval. You get to choose. They call you, what track are we going to? And it's going to be a night race. Road course.
Night race? Road course?
All 3 series are going to be there.
They got lights at Road America?
I thought you were going to say Road Atlanta because you'll camp the whole weekend.
I mean, I would go to that, yes, but the racing was so good at Road America. I don't know why they took
Canadian
it off.
Tire? Yeah, the series ever went to Canadian Tire?
No, I don't think so. Which that's probably what's going to happen next year because they kind of hinted. They kind of hinted that. Well, they might go there too, but they kind of hinted that they might not go back to Mexico next year. So it might be somewhere in Canada.
The Montreal race was because the first 2 corners, man. I remember one year it was like 7 straight caution. They couldn't complete a lap with Marcus Ambrose when he led every lap except the last corner because they hit that bump stop and finished second.
Wasn't it raining? Wasn't it raining that race?
It started raining where they put the chains on the tires.
Oh yeah.
But
was he in that Kingsford car?
Huh?
Was he in that Kingsford car?
The grill car.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got. Y'all, if y'all made it this far, like it, subscribe, get us to 50 subscribers, and we'll start doing this thing live.
Yeah.
Seems like y'all liked the last one. Y'all liked it, but y'all didn't like it. You see what I'm saying? Like, you got to click that little button, with the thumbs up, like it, then hit that subscribe button. Later.